Well, what a game, huh? Had them all the way. It was really kind of a crazy game. I'm so proud of our players. That's the way they played all year, the resiliency to kind of hang around. You know, if we get 2 red zone turnovers in the first half when we're playing awful. And then in the second half, if we don't turn it over down there, it doesn't have to be close maybe. But, you know, we made a lot of mistakes in the kicking game and still found a way to win. I mean, I think that our offensive line was really coming off the ball. We were knocking them back. And, you know, we were able to finish it. DJ White makes another great play. So.
Earlier in the week, you told us this just one game doesn't define a season.
No,
with all due respect to the other wins, I don't remember you showing off your vertical at the end of the game, getting all fired up. What does this mean?
Hey, I'm 2-2 in Athens.
Yeah. What does it mean?
Do what?
What does it mean?
It means that we're the state champs, and they have to take down that "Done we run this state" sign for a year. But other than that, it's just it's a rivalry game. It's good for our fans. It's good for our program. But just because we won the game, I'm not going to change my mind. I mean, one game does not define the season. 10 wins defines the season, and a chance to play for the ACC championship next week. That defines the season. Beating Georgia is icing on the cake.
Can you talk a little bit about?
And let me just say, I've got a lot of respect for Georgia's program. I mean, you look around the stadium, the fans. They've got a good football team and a good football program. They have for a long time, and they will for a long time. So it's even that more impressive for us to come here and be able to get a win.
Can you talk a little bit about the adjustment you made in the second half? You guys started really getting your running game going? Or?
No, we tweaked a couple little things, but not a lot. It was just we just settled down. We were all over the place in the first half, and they were firing guys out of the secondary, and we should have been able to hit some big plays on play action, but we didn't. And so, you know, I challenged the guys at halftime. I just told them, I said, we're going to do our stuff. And we came out in the third quarter and did our stuff all the way down to the 1. And then that crazy thing happened, and most teams could have quit then. And then just to make it a little more exciting, we do something else a little crazy there at the end. So, but like I said, you know, in between, found a way to win the game.
What about
the 99 yard strip 6? Would the argument be forward progress?
The guy's knee was down. They took the ball after, you know, it was either, looked to me like, it was either a touchdown or his knee was down. He was down on the ground and they're pushing him back, and then the next thing I know, here goes the guy with the ball. You know, it's interesting too. I thought the last fumble, I mean, the kid was throwing the ball. He went just like this. So,
what
don't matter now.
What about the job defensively you guys did on their running game, specifically Chubb in the second half?
Yeah, we did a really good job, I thought, all day. You know, I don't know what the time of possession in the second half was. It had to be a kill. They never had the ball much in the second half.
Were you surprised by the squib kick at the end?
Were we surprised by the squib kick that they did? Not really.
With 18 seconds left, you think, you know, I'm sure your first thought is we got 18 seconds at one time. But
we didn't have any timeouts.
You didn't have any?
No.
Was there any part of you that thought we've been a better team here today and we're not going to win this?
Not really. I figured I had enough time to think about that when the game was over. I was trying to get down to a field goal. Actually, what I told Justin, we put 3 receivers to one side, and we were going to put Darren on the other side and just throw a jump ball to him and then try to clock it, and we could get in field goal range. And, you know, he saw an opening and took off and got just far enough.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about that the onside / push kick? What was the theory behind that?
Well, their kicker is really good, and the thing, if you want the honest to God truth, he was supposed to kick it a little deeper than that, and he did, and it worked out just great. But basically all we got out of it was about 2 minutes off the clock, because then we...
So it's supposed to be crucial.
Yeah, it was like a sky kick, and their guy didn't field it. He waited for the other guy to field it, and, you know, that thing's not around. When it hits the ground, it goes all kinds of ways.
Did you set a maximum for a bucker before the game? What was it?
you know, I always talk to Harrison, or I talk to the special teams coach and say, where's it at? And he told me early on he could go 53, 54. But the way we were protecting and the way they were letting them rush over the center, it was a little scary. Of course, there at the end you didn't have much choice. I guess he made it just by enough.
What can you say about the defense with the 2 forced fumbles inside that 5
That's great. That's the way
interceptions?
we played all year. I mean, you know, they got down there pretty quick and then they didn't get it in.
Coach, have you ever had a game where you won, where you had to overcome so much adversity?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
I mean, be Debbie Downer, but on the one when Justin had the fumble, you guys, they couldn't stop you when you smashed in the mouth. Why?
They didn't. How did we end up 3rd and 12?
Did you think, I mean, trying to run the ball, trying to burn the
Well,
clock?
we ran it twice and ended up 3rd and 12.
You know, incomplete pass to stop the clock. They
We
forced
weren't
the
going to throw an incomplete pass. What they were doing, you know, it's easy to coach sometimes after it's over. But if you're watching the game, what they were doing is they were firing the corners repeatedly. So we were going to get in an unbalanced formation and sprint with Max blocking, and if they fired the corner and turned the receiver loose, we were going to throw it to them. If they didn't, we were going to run with the ball. And it didn't work out that way, but that's what the plan was.
So you kick a 53-yarder to tie it, and you get the extra point block every time.
Well, we got another field goal blocked. Yeah, I mean, it was, we got to do a better job with that, clearly. Special teams was a disaster. How many times did we have a kickoff return inside our 15? Wasn't a very good day for our special teams units.
Were they taking advantage of something? Look, they were going to surge up the middle. On
They had 2 guys on one guy, and you can't rush over the snapper, and they were coming right over the snapper, too. It was over the guard and the snapper. But that's no excuse. We need to block. You know what I'm saying? We got to anchor down in there and block.
Can you talk a little bit about Zach and his performance? You know,
Yeah, I thought he and St. John both played well, and we were able to get them both in there and keep them fresh. I thought St. John did a great job, too. Both ran really, really hard.
he went for almost 250 today, the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about DeAndre's status or percentage on?
Just with all, you mentioned all the fumbles, all the block kicks.
Well, they have
just straight
some
stuff.
too now.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
With all that going on, have you ever been involved in a game with so many crazy turns?
Momentum sure did shift a lot. The craziest one to me was the 3rd quarter. I mean, we take about 8 or 9 minutes off the clock and drive it all the way down from our end, and we got it on the 1. And the next thing you know, we're down 7 instead of being up 7. So then they kick off to us, and we run the kickoff back to the 12 and screw that up, and we've got to stop and then punt it about 30 yards. And then fortunately we got to stop and block their field goal, which kind of turned the momentum back. You know, I think they stopped us on 1 series in each half, really.
And then you got the trick play on the fake field goal, and then your little pooch. I mean, all that stuff going on. Just so much craziness going on. Have you just seen all that in just one game?
Yeah, that was another special teams one. And you know, I looked, and it's like I say, it's hindsight. I looked at the holder, and the holder looked at the coach, and the coach gave him a thumbs up, and I should have called timeout because I knew it was coming. But I couldn't get to the guy to call time. I didn't know what was coming. But when they got the thumbs up from the side, I knew something was coming. But I didn't.
That's something we haven't talked about yet, was the goal line stand down there after that.
Huge. It was huge.
What kind of adjustments did you guys make defensively? Really kind of slowed down the running game on top of keeping the ball a lot in
We
the
played
second
the
half.
same way. We just played better. We were so hyped at the beginning of the game, and that's what I think people don't understand sometimes about rivalry games. Everybody's like, "Oh, you got to take it more serious, and you don't do this." Those kids are hyped out of their mind. It's actually the other way. You got to try to calm them down so they can channel it. Because I can assure you, they're excited to play. They don't lack for motivation, you know. So we just did some bonehead things. We did some things offensively. Those first couple of drives, I mean, we could have had a couple of touchdowns on play action, and we just kind of self-destructed, you know. And defensively, I think we just settled down. We tackled better in the second half, and we set the edge, you know.
Does that go for Justin too? Justin settling down?
Yeah, I think he settled down some. Pete? He's like everybody else. I mean, he's a sophomore. He's played so well all year, and he's done so many good things. We forget that, and this was his first Georgia game too now. So he was excited.
I imagine it has to be pretty satisfying back-to-back wins over ranked teams. Something that doesn't happen very often at Georgia Tech in its history. That's got to be pretty satisfying
Proud
for
of the
you.
guys. 10 wins. Hadn't happened a lot. Got a chance for a couple more maybe.
When the momentum keeps swinging back and forth like that, such a drastic change in momentum, do you tell the guys anything, or is it just up to them to deal with it?
Oh, we just play. I mean, I think that I'm a firm believer they act and react the way you do. And if you act like you're frustrated, then they are. So you just got to keep playing. It's just like I told Justin, you just got to play. Man.
How did
Down on the
you?
goal line, he was so frustrated. He was so mad at himself down on the goal line. And it's like, I'm like, come on, dude, you played a lot of football. That one's over. You played enough football to know you can't get that one back. We got to go take the next one and score. Don't worry about it. You just got to play.
How did DeAndre's injury affect play calling or strategy?
I mean, he's a really good player. But we decided in the second half we were going to go at him with what we do, right at him.
There must, except for the kneel down at the end of the half and the 3 plays before you blocked the field goal, it seemed like they went an hour without a snap in the game. Is that
That's good.
what you do?
Play defense.
Yeah.
Sometimes that high school offense will help you like that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Coach.